New Mexico is ranked 50th in the nation, last place for child welfare. It's a statistic state leaders have lamented for years while families suffer the consequences. For more than a decade now, News 13 has shared heartbreaking stories of physical abuse and neglect, oftentimes ending in a child's death. In tonight's KRQE investigation, Ann Perrette is taking a look inside that system, showing you law enforcement's role and the challenges they face keeping our children safe.
I've been looking at this in my rear view for 22 years and watching I don't know that I would call it a progression anymore. It's the stagnant decline, so to speak, of child welfare in New Mexico.
Each year, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office handles 500 to 700 cases of child abuse and neglect. Investigative work Lieutenant Amy Dudowitz has done for 2 decades.
Continuing to try and make a difference and make an impact. The drive has to be there. The passion has to be there. But it takes a toll.
Not only because the facts in these cases are horrific, but she says it also takes time vetting and putting them together. So she's prioritized recruiting people who want to do the work, like Sergeant Autumn Neese.
A lot of what we're seeing now is drug use in the presence of the children. We do a lot of hair follicle testing, and we're finding that these kids have everything in their system.
When detectives say something isn't right, Sergeant Neese says the next step is placing the child in the custody of the Children, Youth, and Families Department or with a safe family member.
We have essentially 72 hours if they're in CYFD custody to conduct our initial investigation. So that would include a forensic interview, a CART exam.
CART stands for Child Abuse Response Team.
The culmination of the whole consultation process is to determine if a child has injuries, what is the cause of those injuries? Is it child abuse? Is it some sort of accidental trauma? Or is something else even going on, such as a medical condition that might make it easier for them to get an injury, or something that can even mimic an injury?
Dr. Leslie Strickler with the University of New Mexico Hospital is one of just 2 child abuse pediatricians in the state tasked with performing those exams.
Not everybody can do it, so if you can do it, your responsibility is to do it and to do it well.
She's another veteran when it comes to holding a child abuser accountable, having worked in this field at UNMH since 2006.
Our families face a lot of adversity. We have high levels of poverty here. We have high levels of social and geographic isolation here. People just face a lot of challenges here, and when adults are facing challenges, kids are at risk.
Depending on the complexity of the case, Dr. Strickler says her team can typically determine whether a child was abused within a day or 2. Despite that quick diagnosis, we noticed months often pass before police seek charges against a suspected abuser. In one example, the CART report stated, quote, "This presentation indicates physical abuse on multiple occasions, and should she be returned, quote, she is at great risk of additional injuries that could lead to death." But it took BCSO 69 days to request charges against Alexis Bernal and her boyfriend, Augustine Solis Baca, for causing multiple arm, leg, foot, and rib fractures to Bernal's 1-year-old daughter.
Having as much information and making sure that we have a prosecutable case is important to us also. Yeah. We're not just about making that arrest and that parent goes to jail for a couple days and then they're good to go. We want to see them do prison time, honestly.
This is Sergeant Neese.
Sergeant Neese says once someone is arrested, they have just 10 days before the case has to start moving through the courts. So if the child is safe, typically meaning out of their home, that buys detectives some time.
My detectives average about 15 to 20 cases per person, so we're working other cases in the meantime. But in that specific case, we're slowing down, we're thinking, okay, what all do we need?
And we're hoping for continued communication with CYFD. So that sometimes has been challenging.
Like in BCSO's case against Maren Gilmore. Sergeant Neese says detectives felt rushed to arrest this dad accused of shaking his 2-month-old son after learning, not from CYFD, that the state agency placed the victim's siblings back in the home.
And we feel like sometimes we're sliding in just as the garage door is closing, trying to get them to change their mind. Wait, hold on before you make that decision. Instead, why didn't you potentially call us before you made that decision.
These problems are not new, and Sergeant Nee says communication with CYFD is improving. But Lieutenant Dudowitz says it'd be ideal if someone from the state agency worked alongside them here inside the sheriff's office.
I go back to the idea of the symphony, right, and trying to get everybody to play on the same sheet of music at the same time.
CYFD, law enforcement, the CART team, and All Faiths Children's Advocacy Center actually meet monthly. BCSO says this so-called multidisciplinary team discusses these issues, specific cases, and systemic problems.
I'm already seeing some of my victims that were children becoming my offenders of child abuse. So, like, where do we fix that cycle?
I do think, politically speaking, you do have to have heads of agencies talking about, why are we 50th for 20 years? What is the next step? Like, we don't expect to be number one in 5 years, but we really should be making incremental or positive changes. And that is part of the dialogue that I'm not necessarily hearing.
For Dr. Strickler, maintaining resources for kids and families is key to getting New Mexico out of 50th. And that means agency leaders have to pick up where those before them left off. She said when leadership changes, the lack of continuity often undermines any progress. Ann Perrette, KRQE investigates.
Some relief is coming for Dr. Strickler and her CART team. She says the University of New Mexico Hospital is expecting a third full-time child abuse pediatrician to join them in January. While it may surprise you that there are only 3 doctors in this field serving the entire state, Dr. Strickler says there are some Mountain West states that don't have any.